Let's cut across straight now to External Affairs Minister of India, Sushma Swaraj, briefing the media.
Space technology in governance. We discussed measures for enhancing trade and investment cooperation. The India-Afghanistan Trade and Investment Show in New Delhi on September 27th to 30th, 2017 will provide opportunity to bring business together. India has liberalized visa, especially for Afghan businessmen. Importance of connectivity and transit for Afghanistan is not lost on anyone. We commenced air freight corridor in June 2017 to provide direct access to farmers of Afghanistan to the Indian markets. We are expediting the development of Chabahar port in trilateral cooperation with Iran. We will begin supply of wheat to Afghanistan in coming weeks through Chabahar port. We signed the Motors Vehicle Agreement today. We hope that it would pave way for overland transit. India also hopes to join the Regional Trade and Transit Agreement that have Afghanistan at its heart. Friends, India has been and will continue to work with the people of Afghanistan in their efforts to build a secure, stable, peaceful, prosperous, united and inclusive nation. The National Unity Government in Afghanistan successfully completes 3 years in this month. We support national peace and reconciliation in an atmosphere free from violence and within the framework of Afghanistan's constitution. India will continue to support Afghan and international efforts in this regard. We remain united in overcoming the challenges posed by cross-border terrorism and safe havens and sanctuaries to both our countries. We honor the supreme sacrifices made by Afghan defense and security forces for the cause of entire humanity. We are indebted to them for ensuring safety of Indians working in Afghanistan. We will extend all possible assistance and begin implementation of the near 500 scholarship programs for the next of kin of the martyrs of Afghan National Defense and Security Forces from academic year 2018. The fact that Afghanistan attained status of test-playing cricketing nation is testament to the indomitable spirit of the people of Afghanistan to not let the forces of death and destruction prevail. Excellency, in conclusion, let me reiterate that India will continue to stand shoulder to shoulder with the people of Afghanistan in realizing their dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Afghanistan to deliver his statement.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The Honorable Minister of External Affairs, Madam Sushma Swaraj, ladies and gentlemen, respected journalists and members of media, good afternoon. At the outset, please allow me to extend our gratitude to you and to your colleagues, Madam Minister, for hosting the second meeting of Afghanistan-India Strategic Partnership Council. I must thank the government and people of India for the sincere cooperation and generous assistance to Afghanistan in various areas over the past 16 or 17 years. Given the historical and cultural commonalities that tie Afghanistan and India, we strongly believe that such goodwill is reciprocated by the government and people of India towards Afghanistan. The current regional trends brings Afghanistan and India closer more than ever to protect and achieve our socio-economic, political, security and trade interests together. Both countries suffer from terrorism and violent extremism that threaten us and the region's stability. The terrorist groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, which have been launching attacks against India and indiscriminately killing civilians of this country, are engaged in similar terrorist activities along with Taliban, Al-Qaeda and Daesh in Afghanistan. Together, they are daily killing our innocent people and destroying public infrastructure. I must be clear that Afghanistan's friendship with India or any other country does not mean hostility with others in our neighborhood. Such rationale has never had any roots in our foreign policy. Unlike others, Afghanistan has hardly sought our security in the insecurity of others. We are a landlocked country, and our peace and prosperity rely on those of our neighbors, near and extended. That is why we reject zero-sum approaches that undermine our collective security today and in the years to come. Security, peace, and stability in the region have been a top priority to Afghanistan. We have rather been working tirelessly to promote regional trust and confidence through various regional organizations and processes, including SARC, SCO, and the Heart of Asia Istanbul process. Considering Afghanistan-India mutual interests, we have been very supportive of one another at the regional and global levels. For instance, Afghanistan strongly and openly supports India's bid for permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council, membership in the International Court of Justice, and in others. Similarly, India played a significant role in the process of Afghanistan's accession to SARC, and we believe that it will do the same in our bid for SCO membership. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's second meeting of the Strategic Partnership Council meeting, we discussed a range of bilateral, regional, and global issues. We also reviewed the outcomes of our joint working groups under the Strategic Partnership Council on political and security consultations, trade and economic cooperation, capacity development and education, social and cultural, as well as civil society and people-to-people contacts. Both sides emphasized on the continuation and further expansion of cooperation in these areas. We agreed to strengthen security cooperation between the two countries. India has further agreed to provide assistance for Afghan National Defense Forces. India offered support for the Afghan-owned and Afghan-led peace process, which aims at ending the years of imposed war and violence in Afghanistan. As our security forces fight terrorists from the region and beyond, they deserve regional and global recognition for their ultimate sacrifices. In this connection, we thank India for our continued security cooperation. Afghanistan remains the frontline state in the fight against terrorism, and the enabling environment for terrorism is directly linked to the continued support they receive from outside of Afghanistan. In today's discussions with our Indian counterparts, we concluded that we need India's further support and involvement in building connectivity infrastructure in Afghanistan that bolsters region-wide connectivity. We particularly emphasized the importance of accelerating the implementation of the Chabahar port, as well as expanding the newly established Afghanistan-India air corridor. Both sides reiterated the importance of people-to-people contacts, including cultural, education, scientific, and technological exchanges between our two countries. In this light, we discussed the easing of our visa regimes so that bilateral tourism and business interactions further increase. Finally, it was agreed that India, as part of its new development partnership with Afghanistan, will implement 116 high-impact projects in the areas of health, agriculture, education, irrigation, disaster management, and capacity development of public servants in 31 provinces of Afghanistan. We immensely appreciate this timely aid package, as it will go a long way in helping strengthen our human security environment, protecting our youth against potential recruitment by terrorists. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to end by inviting India's dynamic media to visit Afghanistan and see for yourselves. As you know, there are occasional visits by Indian press to our country, and there aren't any full-time media outlets from India that cover the continued achievements of Afghanistan and India under our strategic partnership. And once again, I thank you, Madam Foreign Minister.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, members of the media. This concludes the event.
This is a high-profile meeting between India and Afghanistan. We can see right now the Afghan Foreign Ministry, Mr. Salahuddin Rabbani, and the Indian Foreign Affairs Ministry, Sushma Swaraj. They've been talking about a very fruitful cooperation between two countries which are pretty prominent in the South Asian scenario. The Afghan foreign minister has praised Indian aid packages which will, in the words of Mr. Salahuddin Rabbani, prevent many Afghan youths to join and be recruited by terrorist organizations active in the soil. In Afghanistan, in fact, one of the reasons for which the young generation decides to join the terror outfits active in the country is money, because they get paid, they get a salary. Mr. Rabbani also praised India because of the help in military aid, meaning mostly perhaps in strategic development, and also stressed the existence of foreign-aided terrorism active in the country. The relation between India and Afghanistan goes back at least decades when it comes to contemporary times. India has a strong presence in Afghanistan and has developed many civilian engineering projects like the Friendship Dam close to the city, the western city of Herat, which provides electricity to almost the entire region.